Welcome to Demo Day, where young innovators take the stage and showcase real-world projects to a global audience. At WEquil School, students learn to become innovators, teaching each other each week through their creations. WEquil App has thousands of novel and useful projects born out of our students' strengths, interests, and passions. But Demo Day is more than just a presentation. It's a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and the power of young minds. Join us on this incredible journey of inspiration as we witness the next generation of problem solvers and leaders. From Harvard professors to industry experts, our demo days attract incredible guest speakers who share their knowledge and ignite curiosity. Whether you're a young innovator looking to showcase your creations or a family seeking an extraordinary learning experience, Demo Day is here for you. Together, let's create a world where young minds flourish, ideas come to life, and innovation knows no boundaries. Join us for an unforgettable journey of learning, growth, and discovery. Welcome to Demo Day.
My project is on the meaning of fashion. All right. So I see a little bit of skeptical looks, but hear me out. So I have been getting into more on how I present myself visually and fashion. Because of this, I wanted to talk a little bit about what my definition of fashion is, why I enjoy doing it, and some of the dangers of when you get into stuff like this. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So first, my definition of fashion. So one thing is that I want to get one thing straight. There is a difference between fashion trends and your personal fashion or style. If you were to go and Google the definition of fashion, which is what I did here, it would say, word for word, a popular trend, especially in styles of dress and ornament or manners of behavior. And so this would be defining fashion trends, but I define personal fashion as using the way you look and using the way you present yourself to make a statement about yourself or to express something about your personality. So if people do judge you somewhat, they do get some social cues from how you look. And so I think fashion is just taking advantage of this and trying to say something about yourself visually. So why do I enjoy fashion? Well, I like art, and I see art as, and I see fashion as art that you can wear. And so my dad describes my current style as conservative feminine. And I think I do agree with that. However, the colors and fabric of my clothing can vary depending on the weather or my emotions. I like looking nice because of internal reasons, because it makes me happy. I enjoy fashion, not because I don't do it because I'm worried about what other people will think of my clothes. And so I used to not enjoy fashion or like fashion because I thought it meant ridiculous clothing that show off your body and with makeup and stuff. I saw it as people trying to project and show an untrue version of themselves because they're trying desperately to look pretty because they don't have any self-confidence. And so I was afraid of getting all caught up in that, so I went to the other extreme of not caring about looks at all. However, now I do understand and appreciate what fashion is. But like I said before, I pay attention to it a little bit, not for external reasons, but for internal reasons. However, I do appreciate that this is not for everyone. Some personalities, like my sisters, sometimes find fashion and looks to be impractical and not a good use of their time, and I can see why. So it just depends on you and you alone. So now we're going to jump into the dark side of fashion. So I'm going to be talking about how caring about your looks can be actually quite harmful sometimes. And so first, I would like to make a disclaimer that I respect each individual's freedom to do whatever they want, but I think that some of the motivations behind the actions that I will mention is unhealthy. Anyway, back to the presentation. So I already talked a little bit about how caring about your looks can be harmful, but I really want to dive deep into this because it is important to understand how this can be dangerous. What I'm talking about here mostly is being so caught up in your looks that you're like that and whether you're ugly or something like that, that you resort to unhealthy measures of trying to fix that, either by putting mounds of makeup on your face to try and make it look pretty when it actually can sometimes be harmful to the skin, or wearing things like high heels, like really high heels that are actually are hard on your joints. And this is not the only thing. I do see, sometimes I'll see girls or females that will be showing off parts of their body that usually should not be shown, um, because they're trying to get attention. And all in all, resorting to measures to make them look better that are not very healthy. So the reason I call this the dark side of fashion is because sadly some people would characterize these things as part of fashion, or they'll be part of some fashion trends. I think the main um point of this article is that we should learn to appreciate real beauty, and instead of worrying about how your body looks on the outside, focus on having a healthy one, a healthy lifestyle, and most importantly, a healthy mindset. Don't stray over to the dark side of fashion because the path leading to it is a sad one indeed. So, in conclusion, fashion is a way to express yourself genuinely. And you should do it because you enjoy it and not because you're worrying about what others think. It's like wearing art, like I said before, that reflects your personality and your uniqueness. That can sometimes help with boosting self-confidence. However, like I said before, we need to be careful about the harmful side of caring about your looks, where unrealistic beauty standards can lead to unhealthy, unhealthy things that you can do. So let's, like I said, appreciate real beauty that comes from self-love, a healthy lifestyle, and a positive mindset. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack with that one.
Uh-huh.
All right. Who wants to put their foot in their mouth first?
I can go, but after Alexia, you go ahead.
Okay, so I have a feedback sandwich type of thing. My first one is I liked the idea of like putting like how you see fashion as like wearing art. Like I really liked that way of looking at it. And I think it's worth touching on, and I do think you did this a bit in the article. But I think it's worth touching on the idea that like that it's not really accurate to think of like there's one thing that is pretty and there's one thing that is ugly. Because I think like even if you look across different cultures and like cultural beauty standards, they're all over the place. And I don't so I think that like that idea of like just being pretty, like pretty is like this one thing that you can be, is sort of it's not a good game to play. And I liked that there was the last piece of bread. What was it? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Hey, look,
That's okay.
you can compliment her on what she wore during the presentation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm getting into more fashion. So, like I said, conservative feminine, right? I'm wearing a skirt, and then I have this necklace, and I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice presentation. And I thought you presented it well also.
Thanks.
Engaging.
Yeah, the reason why I was like holding my breath like oh, is because this is why I put a disclaimer, because it's like it's a bit of a controversial topic, you know what I mean? But I do have some things to say about it, and I really like what you said about how it's not like pretty. What is pretty? Because a lot of what you think is pretty just comes from your own perception of yourself and your confidence. It doesn't even matter what other people think. It matters what you think of yourself. And that can completely change the whole situation. Right. And that has nothing to do with your looks. So
I just wanted to share real quick that Aila wanted me to look this over before she published it. I didn't. I was trying to get something out yesterday, and it was Dan's cool dad interview. I can understand why she was hesitant, but I just think it's important for you all to know that she was aware that she was putting out a view that might be considered controversial. So she was like checking with people that she trusted to give her feedback.
yeah, it was Sumei's idea to put the disclaimer. And it was also Sumei's idea to fix the typos.
All right. Oh, and Audie, we lost Audie.
Yeah, they said they lost connection, but I think they'll be right
Aww.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I think that it's really important that everybody here knows that they can share their opinions about stuff, and that they don't have to worry that if somebody disagrees with them, that they're going to be censored or labeled. Like at some point we might do like a spirituality demo day where people share their views on their religion, or a politics demo day where people share views on policy. We can actually do that in this learning community. Maybe we can teach the adults a thing or two about how to actually have conversations. I'd love to do that. Yeah, some of the stuff, obviously when a parent sees their kid presenting a project about something like this, in the back of their mind, they know that they had some influence, right? I don't have I don't know a lot about fashion, except for this. Like, obviously I wear very fashion hats. That's because Aila made it. Right? The biggest thing for me, and why I just appreciate the way that my daughters focus on just trying to be very practical with this. Maybe I leaned really hard on it, but I always just emphasize to them the importance of inner beauty and not feeling like they needed to look a certain way to get people to think that they're attractive. So I hammered on this point a lot.
Exactly. Because I knew all of the dangers about that. That's why I never paid attention to this before, because I was really afraid of it. And so I just went to the other extreme.
But I really like what you're doing now. I think it's amazing. I love the fact that you're making your own clothes, that you're like taking donations
yeah.
from choir
I
and the
made
thrift
this.
store, and you're like sewing, and it's like it's so cool. And then I'm realizing that my mind's been so focused on just trying to help you and Isla feel confidence on the inside, so you didn't have to like be showy on the outside, that I never learned anything about fashion.
Well,
So
I think that was the right way to go, because there are some personality types, like I said before, that don't really feel like it's a good thing to do.
Well, I can chime in here because
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
one, I really enjoyed reading your article because I do think it provides a valuable perspective of just kind of you're not concerned with what other people think, but you're doing it for the purpose of, yourself, which is something that, as you also mentioned in your presentation, I can kind of struggle to appreciate at times. But I think that for me, it's just kind of like, well, looking at our personality types, you have a lot of ways that you want to express yourself and show who you are. And a lot of that is more towards visual cues. And for me, I just don't really pay attention to any of that. And so I don't find it really valuable. So there's nothing that compels me to showcase parts of who I am through my clothing, other than that I don't care about clothing. And so that's just kind of like, but that's just for my perspective, from my perspective. So I do think I did find it really valuable, how you shared kind of like what you use fashion for. And so yeah, that was also a great presentation. I know it is controversial, but I think you did a good job of balancing different points of view.
To
be clear,
yeah,
I don't see why it should be controversial. I just know
yeah,
it is controversial.
Yeah.
exactly. But oh, mommy, oh,
Mommy wanted
one
to
second,
share, I guess.
1 second. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Sume, because you can see that not just in fashion, but also in our bed. Like if you are to look at our room, our beds right now, you'd see Sume, and it's just white pristine, and then there's pink thing, right? Um,
Aren't
but
you in? Oh no, you're in mommy's room. Never mind.
yeah, but with me, I have a big blue blanket, and then I have a giant Hogwarts flag, and then I have my New Year's resolutions just all over the place. So it's not about looks, right? It's about our personalities. So hey mommy, you can switch.
This WEquil School hoodie is so cute.
Oh yeah, we should get
That's
those.
the extent of our fashion.
We should get
I
those.
yeah.
I think, well, I definitely love your project, Isla. I think, as a personally, I appreciate beauty, like just visual beauty a lot, and personally, like I, the past experiences was like, like you suggested in your article can due to unhealthy reasons, right? But to appreciate to do things for the right reasons, I think that is such an amazing insight, and thanks for sharing it. And I think a lot of people appreciate beauty, and it's very important for our like an important motivation for a lot of people. So great job.
Oh, I think Adi and Priyanka, they had a comment, and and for the moms here, like, if any moms here, other moms have thoughts that they want to share, I mean, please do. You know, I'm personally very ignorant about fashion and also the struggles that women in particular have with this. Like, there's a lot of, I've looked at the studies. Men generally spend a lot less time thinking about this stuff. Like, women on average in the United States spend like an hour a day doing something that relates to trying to make themselves look nicer. For men, it's 25 minutes, and most of that's showering and brushing their teeth, right? So it's like, what, all that extra stuff? That's because, you know, women, there's just a lot more going on there, right? So like, I'm just very ignorant about it. So any moms that want to chime in here and share, you know,
Yeah.
perspective.
Do we need to be done at a certain time? Is there more demos, projects?
Well, this is like my
we do
favorite
have a
Zoom
couple
call of the
more
week,
projects.
but I just want to make sure people have an opportunity to share. I think that's more important to me than finishing at 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if there weren't
Yeah.
any, that's fine.
All right.
Feel free to put comments in the projects too. You can always go in and look at the project, put your comments there as well. I just am very curious to learn more about it. As a father with 2 daughters, I don't really know how to handle this other than to try to make them feel confident on the inside. That was my whole strategy.
I have some weird thing, you know, that the fashion designers often they just wear black. They're famous for not to participate. Actual fashion designers. You can
My wife is a fashion designer. That makes sense. Priyanka too.
Oh, wow.
Artists are like that too. So
If you disagree with anything that I said in that article, then I encourage you to write a comment or review so I can hear your thoughts.